tell
All
everyone.
right. Well, we're going to be rolling into our next game, which again is Aftershock versus Affinity.
Yep.
Affinity is Hero of Canton's team, I believe.
Yep,
And
which are 5-5.
okay. And Aftershock, who is their captain, Tex?
That is Mr. Not Nako, but the other Mr. Crowbar, which is 9-2, the better of the two Misters. Oh, sorry, no, not the better of the two Misters. It is I am messing up completely here. Yeah, it was Mr. Crowbar, 7-4, not 9-2. So, or Oblivion's now 10-2. Excuse me, 7-4. So I was right. Yeah, in my head, I just had the records wrong. So 7-4. He's the lesser of the two Misters that are in the captains in the amateur league. But it's interesting that both the Mr. Nako and Mr. Crowbar are both in the same division. Definitely having some friendly rivalry there. But
that's what you look for. That's what makes it fun.
I'm really looking forward to this game because I think Affinity is a lot better than 5-5. Their roster is really solid, and Aftershock's a fantastic team as well. So if Affinity can perform against Aftershock tonight, I think their stock rises a lot. I think they're just not up to their potential yet. I think maybe it's a chemistry issue or something. I've played against them and we lost against them. I know they're a very good team, so I'm just waiting for them to bust out their shell there and see what they can do because they have some fantastic players on their team. On the opposite side now with excuse me, Aftershock and Mr. Crowbar, he's got some very, very, very long-standing, well-respected players. You got and some new blood, and like Major Sackett, who's apparently the super host puller. Whiskey49. I do not know how to say this guy's name. Rady, but just Rada.
Which is he in the lobby, Tex?
Yeah, no, I don't see him unless I'm just overlooking him.
No, because in the last
anyway, but Bacon for Days is in here. Did he get traded that I don't know about?
I don't know. Oh, Texas, there's a trade that you don't know about. I think that's a problem.
like sit down and trade it. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get host pullers in here. I think that's what it is. Because they asked if they could have neutral hosts tonight. I know Alpha was throwing a name out there. Bacon's been pulling hosts, so we'll see. I know Major Sackett's been a hardcore host puller as of late, so it might be difficult to pull over him. But anyway, it'd be really interesting to see how Affinity stacks up tonight against this really good team.
Yeah, and I think it'll be exciting because I haven't seen either of these teams play before. I don't think we've ever featured them on Wednesday Night Grifball, and I mean I've seen some of the individual players I'm familiar with. Joe Pro, Lamb Chop, Hero of Canton. I feel so old. I was there at his beginning.
That's a ridiculously old team.
What?
I know, right? It's a very. That's what I'm saying. This team is a good team. I just think they got to get their chemistry down or something. Or this is, as I recall, this is a lineup that beat Legendary. I know Hero Joe from Lamb Chop was there. I remember Arrow being there, so I know it's a good team. We'll see how they play tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Cal's got to talk to teams. Go ahead, Dex.
With that, okay, sure, yeah. So, like I said, you'll be seeing Pop-Tart, myself are doing the amateur power rankings for this week. It'll be out on Friday. He actually got to me tonight, so it might be posted tomorrow, but the beginning of week's Friday, and that's generally when we post it, so we'll see how that goes. But I put Affinity down. I forgot what spot I put him down in the power rankings, but what I said is they just need to find that hot spot. They're better than a 5-5 team. They're better than a 500 team. Maybe they've had to switch out their players and not been able to play their A lineup, which I can definitely relate to. I don't know what it is, but this team I think is going to be a really difficult team down the stretch once they find that chemistry, because you got so much experience, so much Grifball knowledge, and while pure skill is a great thing, longevity and Grifball experience is a big part of it too, and knowing when to swing your hammer on the play and when not. So, a lot of experience on Affinity. But on the other side, Aftershock has been doing a great job. They're going to one of the toughest teams in the league, number 2 in my opinion. The team in the league is on Alpha Turtle Pull Host is in their division. So and they're doing well at 7-4. So we'll see how this game goes tonight. I'm very curious. I want to pick Aftershock just because of the record. Well, I want to pick Affinity, but I think Aftershock's going to win. But I think Affinity, this is where they bust out. I think this is where they bust out their shell and they go on a really big tear and start dominating. And as I recall, I think Affinity's record upcoming is fairly easy. Let me look at it right here. I'm on Aftershock. Their next 4 games are at Affinity tonight, in Oblivion, which is a very difficult matchup, as Oblivion's 10-2. Reflex, which has been struggling a little bit, and then Defiance, which is we don't know which way they're going to go. They're 4-3 last I saw. For Affinity, let's see their next 4 games here. And I love this feature on the side, by the way, Cal and Pup, whoever put up there, the last 4 games and the upcoming games. I think it's a fantastic little deal on the team page. Their 4 upcoming games is obviously against Aftershock tonight, Supernova, which is really struggling, Endgame, which is really struggling, and then they have the Beast Powerhouse number 1 seed Retroactive, who's undefeated. So if they can win their next 4 games, they're going to be looking really pretty. I mean, if they win tonight and win their next 3 games, they'll beat Aftershock and they'll beat the undefeated Retroactive. But it's a tall order.
Yeah. Cal just told me that Aftershock that Alpha Turtle will be neutral hosting this game, and I was just taking a look at Affinity's roster, and I'm like, wow, if this was being played in Halo 3, I would absolutely hands down hand this game to Affinity. I mean, I'm looking at these names, Arrow and Canton and Joe Pro and Lamb Chop, and it's like, yeah, this is a very powerful Halo 3 team. Do we want to swap discs real quick? But yeah, so it's really great to see all these old timers. I mean, some of them are as old as I am. I think Joe. No, I think Joe Pro and I started the same.
Joe Pro Spring.
Oh, he was Spring Link. Yeah, so Joe Pro's even older than I am, and older than us, Tex. That's hard to find nowadays. But then also looking at the roster for I almost said
Aftershock.
Aftershock. Thank you. It's messing up the A's in my head.
Jester's been around for a long time.
Major Sackett is new to me. I believe this is one of his first seasons in the AGLA, so very excited to see new talent always. Mr. Crowbar, from Gentink, so we've seen him play before. Jester, he's been around for a while, and I've seen him play. Definitely don't want to underestimate him. And then XXX, I'm going to call him Raid. Is it Raid?
I don't know.
Can we scroll over and take a look at... I'm going to call him Raid.
Okay.
Otherwise, he spelled Reed really, really, really wrong. So we'll call him Raid. Again, another player, unless he's someone on a different tag, definitely don't recognize that name either. So, just on the psychological principle of preferring things that you know to things that you don't know, I probably am pulling more for Affinity because I have an affinity for the players on that team. And there's just a lot of players on Aftershock that I'm just not familiar with, which to me is exciting because I get to watch these 2 teams play and learn more about some newer players in the league, which is always one of my favorite things. Go ahead, Cal.
Huh?
Cal needs to talk to him. Go ahead.
Okay. I think, if I recall correctly, Jester was Mr. Crowbar's highest pickup. I don't remember the credit amount. So, anyway, I don't know what that's worth or whatnot, but I will say I think Aftershock will win tonight, even though I'm really pulling for Affinity. If they do win here, I think this is what busted open for them. I think that they will probably only lose to 1 to 2 teams for the remainder of the season. If they do win here tonight, if it's a very competitive game. But I think Aftershock wins 6-3. We'll say 6-3. Another 6-3. I don't like that. Actually, I don't like that. I'll say 5-4. I think Aftershock wins 5-4.
Okay, then I'll go the opposite. I will say Affinity 5-4.
Okay.
We will be divided.
I will say, one of us will be right tonight at least. Oh, well, at least get the winning team correct. Maybe not the score. I will not be surprised if Affinity wins tonight. Like I said, I've played against them. I've seen what they can do. I did have my A lineup, but I played against them. And, I know a good team, even though I might not have my best lineup. And Affinity is a good team. So we'll see how they play tonight. We just saw one team that we thought was going to be favorite get destroyed, for lack of better words, in the first round. But we'll see how this amateur matchup goes. As I saw, it is Alpha Turtles. He is neutral hosting, so we do have a neutral host, and just waiting on the players. Yeah, all right, good to go like a bean burrito. Got, as you see, Aftershock in blue, Affinity in red. Cameraman will be on Aftershock, so you'll be seeing from their point of view. And Lamb Chop. Well, I did say Lamb Chop. Turtle and myself will be on Affinity.
All right, well, I'm very excited because I just don't know what to expect. You never know at the matches. I love that we feature the pro teams. I love that we feature the amateur teams. I feel like the pro team sometimes you know a little bit more going in, or you have really strong suspicion going in. But the amateur teams, I really feel like anybody could win at any time, and you just never know what you're going to get. Tuna? Oh, tuna, that's why. Okay.
Tuna?
I thought Man Cannon was just talking about fish. Yeah, so opening tip-off here. We've got Affinity with the ball on their half. Tex, did you make it in okay? Okay, good.
I made it in okay. It was a little jumpy, but now it's under control. I'm trying to figure out who has the ball. I believe it is. No, it is not. It's Joe Pro. He's running the ball. He's past the guys, but he kicks it back. It saw that he wasn't going to be able to get to the plant. Had a respawn there, cut him off, but he kicks it back, drops off. It looks like it's going back into Joe Pro's hands, so he's going to be the designated runner for, at least this early in the game. Off the left-hand side, you got Lamb Chop streaking down the wall there, trying to get in for some distraction, as Hero Canton and Arrow there trying to do a little bit of damage on the right-hand side. Lamb Chop finally getting picked up. The runner's still in the offensive zone, being a little bit aggressive, but not close enough for any beatdowns or sword lunges. Just holding ground, basically, try to make the other team focus on him. He does get a beat down there. Might stick around for a second one. Gets it. So 2 beat downs in a row for Joe Pro. And that was on Raid and Mr. Crowbar. As his tanks step up, getting obliterated right there in the middle. Still has Hero Ken on the right hand side, but he's kicked out. And the runner has to cross the court to the left hand side. But Lamb Chop's holding in that right corner. And they have to reset their offense back in the defensive zone. On the left-hand side, a 2-take push there, but the runner hangs out on the right-hand side with Lamb Chop, but now drifting towards the middle in sword launch range, gets killed, and the ball is loose. It's a scramble for it. Lamb Chop trying to get to it. It's Franklin away. Now there's a foot race, but Arrow's able to step up and save the day with the double kill there, and then keeps it in Affinity's hands. This is going to be an AA game, huh? Affinity Aftershock?
Yeah.
All right. Get drunk on it. All right, Lamb Chop in some danger there. And, wow. He caught it midair on his plant, a dangerous pass. And as he kind of got the beat down on the sword launch there, what a play by Lamb Chop. That was just amazing, folks. Bad pass. Very, very bad pass. But Lamb Chop, showing that experience and how good of a player he is able to get out. And here it looks like Affinity is threatening. They have a good take push. He's going to be able to walk in. Lamb Chop with the ball, scoring the first goal of the game as Affinity rises up 1-0 over Aftershock.
Yep, it's Lamb Chop's play along, where his team comes to play along, and scoring is all they ever do.
Yeah, I can't get over that play on their own plant there. That kickback, and they had a sword barreling down on him from Aftershock, and he catches it and gets the beat down just in one fluid motion. Amazing play by Lamb Chop, and turns it into a goal shortly after. So that was a big credit to Lamb Chop on that goal, even though he had to be tanked in there. And now a little bit of trouble as Affinity has the ball. They're going to kick it to the right-hand side. They do. Back in Lamb Chop's hands. He's in the right-hand corner, dancing back and forth a little bit, but it's just some trouble. Joe Pro's there, and they're going to kick it back to the left a little prematurely, as this is going to go into Aftershock's hands, as they're able to cut off all of Affinity's respawns, and now they have their chance to try to make something happen on the offensive side. Lambchop's getting sword range, but he trades out. No, does he actually trade out? I thought he was going to get a trade there on a tank, but did not. Now the runner being a little aggressive, has a tank there on the left-hand side of the plant, doing some damage, but it's two of the Affinity tanks step back and cleared them out. And once again, Pro and Hero Kanto working very well in tandem there, almost like synchronized tanking as they kick back both times. Trying to matchmaking here. He's still alive off of 2 hammer lunges, and this is going to result in a walk-in for Aftershock. Wow. He survived 2 hammer lunges and got pinballed mid-air. And, wow, Mr. Crowbar get the first score for Aftershock, tying up 1-1.
It almost looked like a Halo 3 game there for a second, because you had launches, and then you had Affinity putting up the defensive stop of a launch, which was just textbook. And, I mean, obviously Aftershock still came in and got the score, but, yeah, I love seeing people fly through the air like that. And, again, if you're going to do a launch against a team, you're doing it against Affinity, you know, again, a team that is well-versed in the ways of the launch, you got to make sure that you do it right. And Aftershock managed to pull it off, so good for them.
Arrow trying to do some damage there in the Aftershock's own defensive zone, but could not get to the ball. Now there's a kick forward. There's a guy on the planet. He's wide open. It bounces off his head, but he's able to recover it. And just like that, Aftershock's up 2-1 off that beautiful half-court pass off the right-hand corner.
Yeah, this game feels a lot more, I don't know, fast and loose for lack of a better term there. Teams are just going for it. They're seeing opening passes. They're taking launches. You know, they're being a little risky. They're living dangerously. And, you know, that's one way to play Grifball. It's not the good or bad. It's a style. And, you know, especially after we have a game like we had previously with the pros, who were a little more, you know, tanky McTankerson. It is nice to see something. I mean, this is pretty fast-paced, and it looks like the runner's all alone there. He's going to get cut off, but here comes Red.
Joe Pro with the sword.
Yep.
And Joe Pro gets the sword lunge, a mini hawk dive. He jumped up in the air. Didn't get the hammer lunge up there, but he jumped up and sorted down on the runner. Lamb Chop picks up, but now he hands off to Joe Pro, who's deep in his own defensive zone on the right-hand side, now crashing into the middle of the court. You got a tank on the opposite end there, running loose, but is picked up by Major Sackett. And so he did not want him to get much further. Now dropping back. But that I want to go back to that Aftershock. Just lobbed it in there. Beautiful pass. Had a tank doing damage on the plant. And Affinity could not pick him up. And just a perfect, you know, catch and pass kind of play there. So definitely Affinity needs to maybe direct a little bit more attention to their plant when they're on the defense, as that was just a standard, you know, pass play. Guy on the plant surviving and got a beautiful pass. Mr. Crowbar doing work on the plant to be able to catch it, but a very nice pass spot on there. A little aggressive running here. Lamb Chop getting a little boost from behind, a little rocket shoe action there, but no damage done as Lamb Chop's still on the left-hand side. The runner goes back and now has a one-on-one opportunity. He doesn't take it, but he's able to maybe skate around. No, gets hammer bounced out. Now he's being chased down, but Lamb Chop steps up. The runner's in trouble. He's going to have to throw it out. He decides to stay there, survives one hammer, but cannot get the ball. Is the ball out? I can't see. No,
Aftershock has it now. He got popped up and decided to hold on to it rather than pass back, and that resulted in the turnover. And that was after getting incredibly lucky too. I mean, he got bounced out, but Major Sackett had a betrayal on his teammate there. They had a 2v1, and it became a 1-on-1. So very lucky there for Aftershock and for Affinity, and eventually it just kind of canceled out. But Aftershock on the offense now, and they pass it back to safety. But high pressure here. Someone's sneaking down there in the center.
Yeah, but he got picked up. Probably got picked up by Hero Ken. But, yeah, you know, I think the biggest hindrance for a team is an aggressive runner. I think extremely few amount of people in the Grifball League can be an aggressive runner. Most notably Easy. You know, Crowbar we've seen do it fairly well a couple of times on Wednesday Night Grifball, but Easy's the one that I would always trust. T-Rich is an aggressive runner, so I have to give my teammate Kid Tonga, yeah. Oh, and a little bit of trouble here for Affinity, as it looks like Aftershock's trying to get in. And what a pop-up by Lamb Chop. He pursues him, but the runner's still there, finally taken out. But Hero Ken takes out the lead run, and it looks like the ball's going back, bounce to the middle of the court, and it rewards Aftershock. But I think a team can really be killed by an aggressive runner. And that, to me, that was an aggressive running style by Affinity when he was up in the corner and he decided to hold on to the ball and try to make something happen instead of passing it out. So very few people can do that. I personally think that was a bad decision to hold on to the ball and not kick it back. Try to slow it down because you don't want to get behind too much in time possession. You don't want to give them more scoring opportunities because if you don't have the ball, you can't score. So I just think it was personally bad. And a pass here, once again, and a nice clear by Hero Cannon there, stepping up and taking out that tank that was perched up on the plant. And now look at that. Look at Affinity all crash over as one team. All 4 tanks were on the right-hand side. They got picked up and whatnot, but definitely looking like a team, like a cohesive unit. A little bit of trouble here. He kicks it out, and it's almost an interception there. Very close. The runner's still in trouble. Gets a clutch beatdown. He's in trouble in the corner still. He's going to have to toss it out. No, he elects to keep it. Now they're running forward. Probably the best move here, leaving those tanks in the backfield, using that off-number one-on-one situation here for the runner. The hammer's out. He's going to just actually cut to the line. And a bad hammer by Affinity. The ball goes all the way back to their spawn, but premature hammer by his tank kills him, and then he gets killed by the enemy tank. So
nothing worse than a premature hammer. That was awful.
Yeah, it took out his runner. It popped him up.
Nice push here, though.
Affinity's going to have a walk-in. Joe Pro with the ball, and it tied up 2-2. So the scoring opportunity missed does not come to bite him back in the butt. They're able to score on the next opportunity, and we have a good game here.
Yeah, a very nice, even game. Well distributed, point-wise, it's still looking pretty good. Probably in favor a little bit of Aftershock, but a nice even match, tied up 2-2. Both teams, it looks like we got a bit of a launch here off the top, but had a lot of height, but not a lot of distance.
And they still have a good tanking push, but is quickly taken out by the respawns. Lambchop's there trying to hold off that left-hand side. He's doing a good job. The runner decides to step up, be a little aggressive, but Lambchop falls short and cannot keep the pressure up on that left-hand goal side. But they have a takedown. Lambchop trying to go that back door, doing his best man Cannon impersonation as he's way there off to the side up against the wall. Gets traded out, but a good push here. One-on-one situation. The runner hesitates. Probably the best call there. He had a one-on-one opportunity for the goal. The respawns looked like they would have caught him, so it was probably the right choice, but it would have been 50-50. I would have not faulted him for trying to make that beatdown to score the goal, but they hold on to the ball. They haven't turned it over, so thus far it's not a wrong call, but definitely a 50-50 call there, whether you trust your runner's aggressive enough or not, or has a stiff arm from scoring, which Joe Pro's looking good with these stiff arms, doing a fairly good job. Only has been sorted once from a distance. Lambchop's up there in the corner, now a one-on-one opportunity for the runner, but he backs off, doesn't take chances. The sword was out. He falls back into mid-court on the right-hand side, now creeping up. One runner being off tank, trying to pull the crouch tanking, but cannot. Gets picked up, and the runner dangerously runs for his tank, but if Affinity has a chance maybe to score, he gets popped up off a respawn, and just a missed opportunity there for Affinity. I think the runner took a little bit too far right of an angle to the plant. If he would have just gone down the pipe straight down the middle, he would have walked it in. So
yeah, I think that's one thing that Affinity, we've really been seeing this match, is that the runner is aggressive, which isn't a bad thing. I really do like the style that he has, where he's up front, he doesn't drop back, he really doesn't give Aftershock a chance to pin him in a corner. You know, he's able to hold his ground pretty well around the half-court area, and you know, he's a little stiff arm happy for my personal preference. But the problem is that it's like it's almost as if he and his tanks are not on the same page, because he is getting hit, damaged, and popped up by his own tanks multiple times. So I think they need a little bit more communication there on the team front. You know, some time for some more chemistry to build up as well, and then they'll be really good to go. Because again, I really like the style of running that he's got. It's just getting him into trouble sometimes with his tanks.
Yep. The biggest thing I've seen for Affinity right now, since they have the ball, they're doing well, a little bit aggressive in the running, like you said, standing in front or stepping in front of his tanks. But their biggest problem right now has been that defensive passing. when they're backed up to their goal, kicking across the plants, extremely risky passes, almost resulting in turnovers almost every time. So what they need to work on is working on arching their passes a bit higher, deciding a little bit better routes for the pass maybe. And, sometimes it's the right choice to just throw the ball forward into the enemy's court. If you're locked down and the opposite side's locked down, it looks like it might be a run in. Oh, you take a step back.
Oh man.
You want to get bounced around, and credit there to Aftershock to defend against that, because it looked like Affinity. And look at that sword lunge from behind, Mr. Crowbar with the super sword lunge. He's going to turn it forward on that right-hand side. A couple of tanks there trying to take in, but no. Hero Ken and Joe Pro step up and take out those two tanks. It doesn't let it get much further than that. But yeah, a nice sword lunge there for Mr. Crowbar, doing what he does. He's a great runner and a great runner pursuer. I don't know what you want to say, but he's good with that sword, taking out the runners. Nonetheless, Aftershock now, they haven't had the ball for a while here now, so trying to get something going. A runner on the left-hand side, one tank there, but Joe Pro's doing some damage in the middle court. A little cramped up for Affinity as Joe Pro and Lambchop kind of stepped on each other, but no harm done, no hammer swung to take them out. But just not looking as good as, I almost want to say, just trying to call it as I see it, Joe Pro is definitely invading other people's taking lines. He's stepping over other taking lines, not using the proper spacing. So getting a little aggressive in the taking style as well. So that might be for cause for concern as the game goes on.
Turnover there.
It did force it. Joe Pro was able to team up with I don't know who the other guy was with him. I want to say it was Lambchop, and was able to double sword lunge the runner and get it. Now they're on the offense. Got a good push here off that right hand side. One-on-one opportunity. Lambchop steps up, cannot get the tank, and that's going to cause him to stall out as the respawns are there just to knock him out. But Hero Ken still doing damage on the plant.
Oh, wow.
He might have what a move by Joe Pro. He still gets popped up, and he scores it nonetheless. I thought it was defended. I thought it was popped out, but he's able to drag the toe, and that puts Affinity up 3-2.
Wow. I thought he missed that. I thought he got popped up. Did not see the toe get drugged, but apparently he did. And I was going to mention, as a tank, it drives me nuts when my runner gets in front of me and ends up dying. Cough, cough, Cal. Cough, cough. So, again, I think it's them finding their stride. And right there, the runner just picked up the ball. He didn't just ran right past the tank. And the defensive tank just didn't even see him. I don't know, he had blinders on or something because, and turnover there right on the plant, kicks it back.
Good move, and Joe Pro's going to retrieve it. But, definitely like a lack of awareness, and then it happens even to me sometimes. I get focused in on the tank off the offside, and it just comes down to communication. When you gotta tell your teammates, "Hey, I'm going for the tank," or "Hey, I'm going for the runner." Let your teammates know who you're going for. And I play in a lot of customs over the past 6 months and stuff, and I've heard a lot of. I could tell who are the better players because they're communicating, they're calling out, they're saying, "Hey, I'm doing this and whatnot." There's a few players that are obviously just amazing and silent, but you can definitely tell when a player's been playing for a long time and does call out. And what turnover there, another super lunge by Mr. Crowbar. He's not able to get it away from Aftershock, but away from Affinity, but he does get the kill the runner, and it gets stopped there. Now a little bit of trouble there. Joe Pro being aggressive again with that ball. Lambchop steps up and takes out the tank, but it also hit a little bit of Joe Pro off the left-hand side now. Lambchop there, one-on-one situation, a beatdown. This might be it. It's now 4-2 with Affinity up, as they are 5-5, and Aftershock is 7-4. So record-wise, you would think Aftershock would be winning this fairly easy, but as I said, Affinity's a good team, way better than the record suggests. And as soon as they hit that chemistry, they are going to be an extremely dangerous team to play against.
And again, there goes Joe Pro with the very aggressive running style, and it seems like he is able to exploit the tiniest little cracks in the defense. It's like he knew that the tank wasn't going to track him down, or he knew that the defensive tank would track off with his offensive tank and leave that gaping hole. I don't know, maybe it is the Halo 3 thing when you were, as a runner, were always looking for the lane because you had no other way to do it. You couldn't pass, well, I mean, you could, but not like you can't. Oh, we have a solid push here by Aftershock.
Aftershock going to have a 1-on-1. They get the beatdown score, get closing the gap a little bit. Don't want to give up another goal and lose the game, so it's 4-3 now.
Yeah, this game is far from over. I mean, this is a really great, intense match. I'm a little bit hoping that Aftershock will score one more time so we can go to a 4-4, because that's, I think, kind of the pinnacle of Grifball excitement is when it does come down to sudden death. But, you know, if Affinity put it away, can someone move out of the way so Cal can get in?
I can't get in either. It's the
Alpha Turtle. Move your butt.
Alpha Turtle needs a move.
Alpha Turtle, move your butt, please. This lovely holding screen brought to you by Alpha Turtle.
Can't see what's going on.
So.
There we go. I'm in.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Oh, Alpha, you crazy. You cray-cray. But anyway, Aftershock with the ball. A little dangerous move there by the runner. He decides to go a 2-on-1, gets the first beat down, invades the sword, and is able to tank step up and protect him. But they have the ball now deep in their own defensive zone. And sorry, I was completely thrown off by sitting there waiting for Alpha Turtle. And trying a little bit of matchmaking. He's popped over. He's going to kick it out, which is the right call because he wasn't going to make anything happen there. And the ball is now in their own defensive zone. Kicking off to the right-hand side. I'm sorry.
Yes, really cost them a lot of time there.
Yeah, as you can see on the left-hand side, they have a tank destroying there, finally picked up by Hero Ken. But that's one thing, too, I want to say that I've learned as of late. I think a team full of hybrids has a greater potential than 3 tanks and a runner. Because if you're wasting time handing, like, tanks, when I say tanks, obviously, I mean not very good with the ball, as far as, like, picking lanes, stiff arms, and whatnot. So, like, when you're wasting time throwing the ball back to your runner, that's precious opportunities, possibly, to just go. And that's something Green Army has changed. We've kind of converted all our players into hybrids for the most part because we had that traditional tank mindset only going, and we understood that we wasted a lot of time throwing the ball back or holding the ball forward.
Aftershock there just was doing work. And unfortunately, the runner was caught on the other side of Affinity and couldn't get to him. But whoever that was, I think he got about a kill tack in the spawn.
Might have been a Jester, possibly?
It might have been. I couldn't quite tell. Cal, it was on the edge of the screen, so I couldn't quite make out who it was. But Affinity takes over.
And they have the ball. But like I was saying, I think wasted time, you know, as you mentioned, kicking it back is a very bad thing for a team. And more teams should be comfortable with all their players running with the ball, or at least, you know, trying to get it in there. Or seeing if they're, you know, going upfield and seeing if there's a scoring opportunity. If not, then heading off to your runner when it gets up to you. But nonetheless, I digress. Affinity here threatening all their takes in the offensive zone. Spread out very well. The runner in a little bit of trouble. Gets a beat down. He's on a killing spree. He is off the right-hand side, and someone, that's Major Sackett, just chased him down. Finally gets beat down by Joe Pro, but was on a tear there, killed 3 tanks in a row to pursue the runner. But they're resetting their offense, making the moves again, off to the right-hand side, and he's in trouble again. Definitely looks like Aftershock is doing quite a bit better, and keeping Affinity under control, keeping them in their own zone, and making them do those defensive passes now. Joe Pro's there. Hero Ken steps up just in the nick of time to make him where he doesn't have to pass. It was really too close for comfort here, and Joe Pro escapes to the right-hand side now behind Hero Ken. Down that right-hand side, one-on-one opportunity here. He's going to avoid the sword, let his tank step up and do the tanking, and Hero Ken there gets a couple kills. Lamb chops in the little court. The runner cannot connect with him, but there's Arrow stepping up, trying to get him in there, and just cannot. They're only getting one tank at a time push, and Joe Pro's being a little bit more passive now. It's a little bit closer. Don't want to make a mistake here, so getting those.
I can tell you as a tank, Joe Pro being my runner would drive me absolutely insane. He's all over the place, and I mean, again, that's my style of tanking. Is I like to know where my runner is and like create that nice steady tanking line. But I mean, Joe Pro really takes a lot of it on himself sometimes, and he does find himself in very sticky situations. He's just been really good with that stiff arm and able to get himself out of those situations. But again, it's 4-3, and it's still anybody's game.
Yep, 4-3, and the runner in a bit of trouble. Worst decision you can make there as a runner, in my opinion. making a beatdown on the plant with none of your tanks around. I understand you've been beaten down like a boss, got the stiff arm, got the Heisman Trophy going, but that is a huge risk and not worth it. Especially when you can kick out to your corner and just evade, drop it back in the corner. So it looks like he might go for it again. No, not going to challenge it again. But maybe I'm seeing why Affinity's 5-5. Their runners taking a lot of risk, really aggressive running style, and that could be really bad, especially when your runner's not getting those stiff arms like he is tonight. He's doing a great job, but when maybe he's not getting those stiff arms, not connecting as well, or just playing against a different team, different style, and not connecting on those, that's definitely problematic and a lot of turnovers.
Do we want to take an over-under on Joe Pro? Do we want to say over? I'm going to draw the line at 20. Are we going to pick an under or an over?
I think he's over.
All right, Cal's also over as well.
I think he's at least another beat down there. I think he's at least at 26-30 right now, right at the second. So I'll give myself a four buffer. I think he's at 26. So I'll try to.
Cal just called 40, which I think is absurd.
We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me. So right. I'll count each stiff arm from Joe Pro from this moment on. See how close we were. But now Joe Pro in a little bit of trouble, deep in his own defensive zone. Going to have to do a defensive passing. Actually, he's going to just have to run out. He's in trouble. There's one beat down, so he's at 27 in my opinion. 27, I'll say. I'll do that. It was originally 26. People in the chat box can keep me honest.
And again, Affinity is only 1 goal away of taking this match. Aftershock only 2 goals away. I do believe this is probably the longest round we've had so far. Affinity doing a very good job of maintaining possession. And despite Joe Pro's manic running style, it's kind of like the opposite of Rally Fox. He never stops moving. His feet are happy, and he's constantly... I don't even think that boy knows what a straight line is. He's just all over the court, which, again, not a bad thing. I'm not picking on him in any way. But yeah, as a runner, as a tank, that would drive me absolutely insane.
Just want to say with that 29th stiff arm, he's on a running riot.
Oh my god, really?
With the ball. He's on a running riot. That's 10 kills in a row, if I recall correctly. So, So yeah, he's definitely doing work. I mean, he's like a tank out there, a miniature easy. But like you called it, he's all over the place. So like a drunk bee flying around. That's what I would equate it to. Just do not know where. I don't even think he knows where he's going to go. Which keeps the defense guessing. It might be a good style. But just Affinity cannot get a good tank push here against Aftershock to get him in. So.
Yeah, again, it seems like this round's just going longer. If Aftershock can force Affinity into their back quarter there, they can force them to make a mistake. Because right now they're just having a really, really hard time pinning down Joe Pro because they get close enough and he stiff arms them. But if they're too far away, then he just kind of zigs and zags and gets out of it somehow. A little Houdini there. And so yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to force an error by pinning Affinity back and, again, making them pass along their goal line like they did earlier. Or, like right there, I thought Joe Pro was going to go for a stiff arm on the plant, and I was going to cry. But he didn't.
He's at 30. And it looks like they have a good push here. Might have a chance. Can't connect to the runner. Hero Ken stamping up, but nothing there. If Hero Ken could have got one more kill, I think Joe Pro would have gone for the beatdown in the zone he's in. And probably would have got it. Who knows? But Lamb Trout trying to push again on. There's 31 for Joe Pro, in my opinion. So he's at like 13 stiff arms in a row right now without dying. So maybe I just jinxed him. Maybe that's what I'm doing by accident. I don't even know. There's another one. God,
yeah,
30.
Cal is still calling 40. That is his prediction.
Well, he's going to be at 40 by the time this is over, in my opinion, for sure. Was Cal saying he would be at 40 at the end of the game or 40 at that moment?
40 at the end of the game.
Okay, yes. So I agree that 40 is a very realistic possibility. There's the 32, I think I would have been. 33. He's on a rampage. That's 15.
He's on a rampage.
He's on a rampage, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Pro runner extraordinaire. He's like Rocky Balboa out here as S34, and no signs of slowing down. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It actually reminds me, Tex, did you ever play the game Rampage? You know, the one with the lizard and Ralph the wolf?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And how you would just punch in the windows?
Yep.
You know, that's exactly what Joe Pro is doing, except instead of windows, he's punching Aftershock in the face.
I mean, he's a tank with no range out there right now.
Yeah,
he's a tank with the ball.
Yeah.
And Jester's was on a killing spree before he mutualed out there, but he's not on a rampage like Joe Pro. And there's another one that I think that's 35 that would put it Joe Pro. Oh, he got popped up by the hammer. And they're just not even trying to use the sword on him anymore. They're just trying to hammer him. Look, Lamb Chop getting that back door, trying to make something happen here. It looks like Joe Pro might be able to. He gets the stiff arm, and he gets it. So that's 36 stiff arms that would put him at my if my 26 was right, that's 36. Okay.
And I think Griff Anonymous in the chat was right. He said, "Silly Joe, you're not a runner. You're a runner, not a tank."
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's told Joe Pro that.
If my calculations would be correct, he had 17 stiff arms in a row. Round.
We'll definitely have to go to the stats board after that. So congratulations, though, to Affinity for officially winning this Wednesday Night Grifball match.
They got to push. Aftershock might make it. Go and try to get it in. He does.
It is, and that's it.
Yep. No 20-minute round there. So
wow.
Joe Pro at 36 stiff arms. Joe. That's what 36 to 40 is what, because I said I'd give myself 4 above 36 or 26 when I called it. So
all right, well, we're going to break down the stats and really take a look at what our predictions. So Joe Pro had 1965 as far as points are concerned, 35 stiff arms, 35 kills with the ball.
Hey, look at his spree.
Yeah, Cal, go over to his spree.
It's 23.
I would imagine that's probably with the ball.
Yep.
In a row. That is ridiculous. Watch out, Tonga. Watch out, Easy. Joe Pro is back. Version 2 is here for Halo 4. And he is coming for your balls.
Ha! So I was one off of my prediction. I said they had 36. He had 35.
Oh. Yep, alright, so score-wise, Joe Pro, 1965, Hero Kenton, 1585, Arrow, 1560, and Level Lamb Chop, 1380. For Aftershock, Major Sackett at 1615, Jester at 1575, Mr. Crowbar at 1410, and Reed at 1285.
Can't read his name.
Yeah. So goal-wise, Joe Pro, again, with 4, Lamb Chop with 1, Sackett with 1, and Mr. Crowbar with 3. Defensive stops, 2 for Joe Pro, 1 for Hero of Canton, and 2 for Jester. And no interceptions this game at all. There wasn't a whole lot of passing, though, to be honest. So not a surprise, no interceptions.
Yep.
So killing spree, positive 36. I'm going to guess that's when he went on his 23 run with the ball. I'm going to guess I know that's his KD spread, sweetie, but I'm guessing a lot of it came from his spree. Canton was negative 6. Arrow, negative 23, and Lamb Chop, negative 12. It is a messed up world we live in when the runner live. I'm just throwing it out there. It's like the Twilight Zone.
He went on the rampage with the ball, yeah.
Yeah. And again, you look at Aftershock. If you factor out Joe Pro, it looks like Aftershock was winning the tanking battle because Sackett was positive 11, Jester was positive 9, Crowbar was negative 26, which is kind of on par with Arrow, and then Raid was negative 14, which is on par with Lamb Chop. But Joe Pro's positive 36 really did carry his team. He opened up the backpack and he said, "Crawl in, and I will punch my way to victory," and he did. 202 medals.
Yeah, he's gonna say now to Hero Can wake me when you need me as he crawls back into the backpack.
Yeah. All right, Cal. Next slide, please. So yeah, so here he had 71 kills, 35 of which were the ball. So approximately, almost exactly half of his kills were with a ball in his hands. That's a little ridiculous. A little.
Yeah.
A little crazy there for Joe Pro.
I just was ridiculous to watch. I don't even know. I know that I'm not going to play Affinity on Alpha Turtles host. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Fear the Joe Pro. Joe loves punching.
Yeah, he got a little punch happy there. But that's it for tonight's Wednesday night Grifball. Again, we had One Hit Wonders versus Impulse earlier this evening, where Impulse won, and you just saw Aftershock versus Affinity, with Affinity coming away with the 5-4 victory. So, I was right, Tex.
Yep.
You're so
right.
proud of me, I can tell.
No, I'm sorry. I still can't get over the. Wow. This was an impressive display running. Not what I expected.
Yeah, I don't think any of us saw that coming. But that was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Very awesome.
Next week we there's not an amateur team scheduled, so you might see. I know a couple have been thrown out, Legendary and Retroactive, which would be an interesting matchup, as we're two of the top 3 teams. Legendary, I put us at number 3 for this week. Number 3 or 4. Anyway, preseason we were number 1 and 2, so it'd be interesting to see that. But there might be another team in there. I would really like to get Zero Gravity in there somehow, as that was originally their week with Supernova, but Supernova can't make Wednesdays, and I do want to try to get every team possible displayed. So maybe we can get Zero Gravity in there for something.
Okay, well, we can see what we can do. And so again, every Wednesday night, 9:30 pregame show, 10 o'clock tip-off. We try to feature one pro circuit team and one amateur circuit team. And as always, if you want more Grifball news and information, follow us on Twitter at GrifballHub, on Facebook.com/GrifballHub. Our YouTube page is Grifball Hub. Hopefully you're sensing a theme so far. And of course, the mothership, GrifballHub.com, for all your griffing and balling needs. And other events coming up this week. Tomorrow night, we have the Grifball Hubcast, so our podcast about all things Grifball related and oftentimes not Grifball related. And it is at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/GrifballHub. And some things to look forward to this week. There's a new AGLA podcast that's coming out. There's the new amateur rankings coming out this week. And
also,
there's big GTL news. Just going to tease it.
Oh,
there's GTL news coming out soon.
Is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah, we'll
all right.
So,
also, on Friday on my personal Twitch at the Texarsis, and check the AGLA update tomorrow. That will be out there, or it will be in the AGLA update tomorrow. Opening up on a Friday forum. Basically, I'll be on Twitch. I'll be answering your questions about possible rule changes. I want to get your feedback on what needs to be addressed. This is a way that the administration can interact with the community in a vocal part. We'll take down the information as we're going to start picking apart the rules for the next season. So definitely want to get the community input there, get the feedback, what needs to be changed, what needs to be improved on, what needs to be taken away. So that'll be on Friday. The time will be posted tomorrow at the AGLA update.
Okay, well, that's kind of like a town hall. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments for the upcoming season, or questions about stuff now, be sure to check that out. And I think that's about all we have for tonight. So as always, thank you to the teams for coming out and giving us some really, really great games tonight. Thank you very much to Alpha Turtle for the neutral host. Neutral hosts don't ever get enough praise and thanks for the job they do. And so thank you, Alpha Turtle. And of course, thank you to everybody who came out and supported these two teams. What? Tex?
What?
Oh, I thought you said
something. Is it breaking up really bad or something? I guess it's delayed or something.
Okay, well, we're just saying goodnight. So thank you to everybody for coming out, supporting Grifball, supporting Grifball Hub. We love you all very much.
You're not balling unless you're Grifballing.
Bye. After party and lamb chop stream. Just saying. They'll be
I heard he gets shirtless and does push-ups.
He does.